Right, so let's talk about the asynchronous model for coaching and mentoring. Now, the word asynchronous is a word that has becoming a bit of a buzzword in the coaching industry, but basically it means not at the same time. So typically, when you work with clients, whether you're coaching them or mentoring them or supporting them, whatever it is that you're doing, you work on Zoom and you come together for a Zoom call at the same time. Asynchronous coaching, mentoring, support is where instead of using Zoom, you would use an app like Voxer or even WhatsApp or even Messenger, and you communicate by voice messages. So you would send a voice message, your client would listen to your voice message, and then they would reply by voice message. So instead of you sitting down on Zoom together and carving out like an hour, you can both fit the coaching and mentoring support into your typical daily lifestyle. So you could be in the car waiting to pick up your children and responding or receiving a voice message rather than having to set aside a whole chunk of time. So it works well when you have a very busy life and when you find it difficult to carve out large chunks of time. It works well when you or your client have a limited attention span. Maybe you are ADHD, maybe they are. And where actually sitting down, concentrating for an hour at a time is quite difficult. So what tends to happen is you get distracted and you start to check out a little bit. You're not fully present for the full hour. Where when you're working asynchronously, you can be present at the time that you're present for a very short period of time. It works well when you might need to think before you respond. So if you're somebody like me, and you asked me a question that I need to think about, it works better for me if I've got time to just sit back for 10 minutes and think and then respond. So in a coaching environment, you can actually go deeper with your clients by allowing them the space and energy to think, to ponder on what you've just said, and then to respond, and then you back, so that they're getting the best out of both worlds. It might be worth considering if you default to the typical spend time together on Zoom or on the phone model of coaching or mentoring or support, or even group calls. If you're doing group calls where everybody comes together for a period of time, it might be worth thinking about whether actually asynchronous would be a better model for you. If you think about how you best operate, do you benefit from having time to think before you reply? Do you benefit from doing shorter bursts of work instead of being all in for a longer period of time? If you do VIP days, for example, does it really take it out of you if you have to sit on Zoom for a whole day working, or would you actually be better? Would the client receive a better? Would you do your best work? Would the client get a better and bigger transformation if actually you were able to show up in your peak performance version of yourself asynchronously? Now, this is something to think about. It's becoming more and more of a thing because, particularly if you serve the 40 plus age group, because more of us are discovering that we're neurodiverse and that actually we're kind of stepping up now for what truly works for us and no longer trying to fit into other people's models. And this is the benefit for you as a business owner, to think about what really lights you up. How would you really want to work if you had full choice? Because it's quite easy to fall into this pattern of other people's suggestions or what you think you should do. But actually, as a business owner, you have the capacity to decide for yourself, and you can decide based on what truly lights you up. So my question for you today is to give some thoughts of whether working asynchronously would light you up more than if you find it draining, if you find it a bit dry and a bit heavy sitting on longer calls. And actually, do you know what? I would really love to be able to just voice note backwards and forwards with my client, and for them to do the same back with me, and we would get so much more done, and we would be able to go so much deeper if we both had time to think before we replied, or to spread out where I can actually sit down when I'm in my best energetic space and then reply. So give some thought to whether that would be a better option for you. Now, one of the biggest challenges with asynchronous coaching, by the way, you can asynchronously text coach. I have a copy coaching asynchronous program, and I work with clients where we text each other because they're sending me copy. I'm guiding them to write the next section of their copy. They're sending it to me. I'm reviewing it and then giving them the next part. You can mix and match. You don't have to be all voice notes. You can do some voice and some text. It's completely up to you. You design this between you and your client. Or you decide what you're available for, and then your client can choose from what you're available for, right? Now, one of the biggest challenges with this has been with voice notes is there is a certain section of us, quite a large section of us, that don't enjoy voice note messaging. Now, sometimes it's because you just don't process the information as well when it's audio only and there's nothing else to, no video or text to read. Sometimes it's because of a hearing impairment. Now, if you're an iPhone user, we can overcome this immediately now. Great little thing that they've added to iOS 16. You must be on iPhone, you must be on iOS 16. You must check the language of your iPhone is set to English US or English Canada, not English UK. So you must change the language of your iPhone in general settings, general language. If you're in the UK, change it to English US. And then under accessibility, you will find a live caption. And this is amazing, right? Because somebody is playing, you play your voice note as you would, and iPhone live captioning is writing what is being said. You can use it on podcasts, you can use it on any videos. It's amazing. You've got to be using iOS 16. You've got to be I don't know if there's an Android version of this, but iOS 16 with English US as your language, and turn it on in accessibility. So this is the way you could overcome the I don't want to work with voice notes if you actually want to allow your client to send you voice notes and you want to work asynchronously. So that's something else to consider, something else to give some thought to. So when you're creating your soul aligned programs, your soul aligned offering, it starts with you. It's about what really lights you up. How do you want to work? Who do you want to help? How do you want to help them? What do you want to help them with? And that's how you create a soul aligned offer that is sold online. So if you would like help with that, get in touch, send me a direct message, and we can talk about how we can work together to create you a signature program that is fully in alignment with how you do your best work. If you would like help with writing copy to communicate a program that you've already got asynchronously or not, send me a message and we can talk about that. But give some thought today about how you would much prefer to support, and if live hour-long or whatever Zoom calls, one-to-one Zoom calls is your favourite way, then great, you're on the way. But if actually, do you know what? I would really love to work asynchronously. Explore how you can add that in to your next offer. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.